When John is negotiating this treaty, the second voyage is in play. Colón has left with 17 ships and 1,500 men, okay? And even though Colón is doing everything he can to keep the Spanish from knowing the truth, and when I say everything that he can, I mean things like forbidding the friar that was a spy sent from the court to return, forbidding any letters that this friar wrote to be sent back to the court. And this friar is arguing that Cuba is an island when Colón is saying that it's the continent of Asia, right?
Yeah.
So what does Colón do? He forces everyone on the Niña to sign a note, a sworn oath, that Cuba is the continent of Asia. Everyone, you look it up, the oath on the Niña, it was, I forget, 1494, I forget exactly what month it was. Everyone on board signed, yes, this is the continent of Asia. And you know what the penalty was if they ever said otherwise? They would have their tongues cut off, and they have to pay a high fine. Okay, this is how much he was working to help Portugal. That he forced everyone on board to swear a false oath.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens? Because he was on this second voyage, and John II had not know if any of those 17 ships landed on Brazil, okay, he put a clause in the Treaty of Tordesillas to protect Brazil for Portugal. You know what the clause says? If any of these ships find any land within the first 250 leagues of these 370 leagues, that land belongs to Portugal. Okay?
Yeah.
If they happen to find any land in the other 120 leagues of the 370, Spain can keep that. Okay? This is how important it was to John II to keep Brazil on the Portuguese side. You see, the first 250 leagues excludes the pink area.
Yeah.
Okay? It's the same as the 100 leagues that the Pope wrote. 100 from the Azores is the same as 250 from Cape Verde. That's the absolute line that John was willing to give up.
Yeah.
Okay? And then he extended those other 120 leagues in because he could, right? And so, and that's really how this all came about. You know, it was planned way ahead of time. There were lots of secret agents working on this. There was a secret agent in Spain helping convince the Pinzon brothers to go on the voyage. You know who it was?
No.
Look up Pedro Vasquez de la Frontera. Okay? Pedro Vasquez de la Frontera, who they say is a Spanish guy, was actually Pedro Vasquez Saavedra, okay? Saavedra, Portuguese sailor who discovered floors in the Azores in 1452. And you know how he convinced the Pinzon brothers to get on the voyage? And he convinced the Pinzon brothers to join, and he even told them, at some point, you will run across a sea of weeds. Just keep sailing, don't worry. Okay?
Yeah.
Another secret agent that's in on this plan to take the Spanish as far from India and Africa as possible, and to keep them busy so they leave Portugal alone.
Very good. Very good.